Thanks, Myron.
Mr. Comptroller, how are you, sir?
Fabulous. Nice to see
Welcome
you.
back to West Baltimore, Central Baptist. First, before we get to the tax piece, what about these first responders? I mean, you came out and recognized some people. You know, people do a lot of hard work all throughout the community. What do you think of them?
We're honoring the 10th year anniversary of the loss of the African-American firefighter in training, Rachel Wilson, and we are out here commemorating her sacrifice, and there are a lot of first responders here. I say all over the state, economic activity is not going to happen if people don't feel safe. So we need fire, we need EMS, we need the police, we need safety. Obviously it needs to be done properly, but you know, no public safety, no economy.
And then we found some more. So what I wanted to know is, in your tenure as comptroller, has the number of deficient tax filing firms, has it gone up? Have we brought it down? Do you see a trend? Are they getting more sophisticated? During our last talk, you talked about the ID theft, personal ID theft, and people stealing identities.
Well, first of all, there's an epidemic of tax fraud, and it comes partly from criminals stealing information, using that information to file fake tax returns. That's completely different from what we're reporting today. What we're reporting today are 20 tax preparers, 13 of them in the Baltimore region, the other 7 down in the Washington area. These are tax preparers where the returns they submit to us for refunds, we believe are fraudulent. So we've told them until they can prove to us that there's some documents backing up these returns, we're not going to process them. And that's a big deal because we did this with 68 last year. None of them have come in with the documents, so we're adding now 20 more. That's 88 tax return preparers in the state that no longer have us processing the returns. And we've seen a big increase in tax fraud over the last few years. I've saved more than $175 million in tax refunds that we have not sent out.
So
it's a lot of money. It's big. It's a big time area for thieves, and we have to crack down on this.
There's an onus on the tax filer.
Well, these particular ones, we think there is some collusion between the tax preparer and the
The firm.
Citizen. Between the firm and the individual. In other words, people say, well, you're not going to hold the individual responsible. If the individual knew that this was a fraudulent return and they signed it,
they're just as guilty.
We're going after
What
that
about
too.
the employee of the tax firm? So if I'm working for a tax firm, I need to do my homework on the company I work for.
Well, you should, but trust me, these returns that we're talking about are not, it's not rocket science. We're talking about out and out brazen fraud, and anyone who's involved in it, obviously it's unacceptable. Up to this date, there hasn't been a lot of enforcement. Not a lot of people have been brought to justice.
So that's what's different.
So now what we're saying is we need this legislation passed, Taxpayer Protection Act. If my people get the investigatory powers that they need and that we have in other areas, we will put cases together, and the AG, the U.S. Attorney, and others can decide whether they want to prosecute. But we can't really deter this activity if there are no consequences for
teeth to the legislation.
Yeah, we need the legislation, and we're hopeful. The Governor Hogan has put it in his gubernatorial package, so hopefully there won't be any games played this year, and they'll pass the bill, and we'll be able to hold some people accountable. And, you know, essentially what we're doing is protecting everybody else from a gang of robbers.
Any final thoughts on this cold winter day?
Well, it's chilly out there, but I was at Frederick Douglass High School earlier today looking at the 66 classrooms that are going to be air conditioned by Labor Day of this year when school starts. And I want to salute Mayor Pugh and City Council President Jack Young and Governor Hogan and everyone else involved. The CEO of the Baltimore City Schools, they've taken a new direction on this air conditioning. They're going to put in these box units, and I think it's for the benefit of the kids.
Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Comptroller.
Donnie, thanks.
Keep watching BMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.